Welcome back to another Sci-Facts video. In this video, we're going to be comparing two different paths you can take in the future if you decide to pursue a career in medical. So, let's begin the comparison between specialist practitioners and general practitioners. A general practitioner are also referred to as family doctors. They deal with a variety of different cases which make the job complicated but also allow for it to stay fresh. Patients that come to them often end up telling them about multiple issues they are facing, but they only get paid technically for listening and helping one. It also makes it so they have to do more paperwork, as they have to explain every problem that the patient came to them with. As a family doctor, it's more likely for you to work with others since there are more of them. You can also own more than one clinic, but there isn't really a point since in British Columbia, you only make money for the first 50 clients you make. The wages for a general practitioner in Canada is $216,864 is the median, but you can end up going as high as $414,390. The place of work for a general practitioner is generally in clinics or hospitals, where they will perform tasks such as provide counseling and support to patients and their family on various topics. They prescribe and administer medication and treatments, and they provide continuous care to patients. A personal example of the difference between a specialist and a family doctor's roles are, I went to a family doctor about my allergies. He did a quick examination and told me to, through questions he asked, what I should avoid and what he believes caused them. He then sent me to a allergist, a specialist on allergies, who then treated thoroughly for the reasoning behind it. After finding the source, he counseled me on the issue and provided a solution, which was allergy shots. The allergist did one quick follow-up, but after that, I started doing my follow-ups with my family doctor, who also administers the shots and provides less specified counseling. General practitioners are sort of like the first line of defense. They make the early diagnosis and then send you to the specialist to follow up. They are our primary contact for medical care and are meant to manage over our health. The outlook for a general practitioner is sort of iffy, as personally my family doctor and many others told me that family doctors are slowly dying off and that less and less people are becoming family doctors. And the ones that do often decide to specialize. This has created for a high demand for family doctors, and COVID-19 also added to the demand for family doctors. For the most part, if you complete the training to become a family doctor, it's unlikely that you'll be unemployed. Lastly, the education required to become a general practitioner is 4 years. Receiving your Bachelor of Science, then doing your MCATs before moving on to med school for 4 years. And then lastly, receiving 2 years of additional training. This adds up to 10 years for necessary to become a general practitioner. Now let's move on to specialized practitioners/doctors. The field specialized doctors often specialize in are cardiology, neurology, dermatology, and pediatric medicine. There are a lot more fields, but these were just a few of the most common ones. For a specialized doctor, what you do is mainly based on what field you're specialized in. This makes it so when meeting with a patient as a specialist, you won't end up developing as a deep connection as a family doctor has with his or her patients. This also ends up creating for easier paperwork since patients that come to you usually come for one issue. As my family doctor puts it, the more you specialize, the less work you have to do. Specialist tasks are much more catered around one theme, which can make it repetitive. The tasks they perform are also more complicated. Tasks the specialist doctors at the end of it just depend on what field they are in. A neurologist's role is vastly different than an allergist. Just to give you an idea though, they will do things such as order different tests like x-rays and other procedures, come up with treatment plans, and refer you to surgery if necessary. They also act as more thorough consultants. The place where a specialist doctor will work is the exact same as a general practitioner, which is a clinic or like a hospital. The wage of a specialist is typically higher, with the average being $281,182 in Canada and can reach as high as $580,346. Certain fields will pay greater amounts depending on what demand and education is required. Next, let's continue with the specialized doctor's prospects, which is good. There will always be a demand for specialists, especially because our population keeps growing. The competition is usually slim, and if you end up completing all of your education, a specialized doctor is an extremely secure job. It's incredibly rare to be out of a job with this level of expertise. The main downside of a specialist doctor is the level of education and training you need to receive, which is 2 to 3 years more training than a general practitioner. This makes it so you're usually 30 to 32 when you first end up becoming a doctor. The education you receive is also difficult and hard to keep up with. Both jobs are extremely demanding and will end up consuming most of your life, yet the payoff, in my opinion, is still worth it. Hopefully you learned something from this video, and please consider subscribing.